Hi, it's Kiana Miner, creator of the Crazy Courage Blueprint and founder of Crazy Courage TV, where I interview millionaires, artists, and leaders and learn how to live more courageously and more successfully in our lives. So welcome to the first video in our training series, Money Magic. This training series is all about how to have enough money to live a magical life. And what is a magical life? A magical life is the life that you've always dreamed of living. It makes you feel like miracles can happen. It makes you feel like anything is possible. It makes you feel like the highest vision you have for your life is possible. And this type of lifestyle is not one in which you settle for what you believe you can have, but it's when you're constantly stretching yourself, constantly reaching for those dreams you've had, when you were a child. For me personally, I have had an evolving relationship with money. When I was younger, I started my first business when I was 7 years old, and I absolutely loved being an entrepreneur. The business was called Candy Kids, and so I would buy candy wholesale from the local wholesale store, which at the time was Macro. That's equivalent to like a Costco or Sam's today. And I would buy it and I would sell it individually, retail it to kids in our neighborhood. And I mean, this was like Shark Tank in the making. There was no Shark Tank when I was growing up, but this was like, this was my dream, and I loved it. I loved every minute of being creative and being an entrepreneur and making my own money. And when I would make money, I would take hours on Sunday out to iron my money, and I liked my money to be ironed and clean. Sometimes I would wash the dollars. I would just wipe them down with a damp cloth. I would iron them, and I would put them neatly in my drawer. And so I didn't have a piggy bank because I didn't want to fold my dollars or crinkle them up. I really had a really healthy respect for money, and let's just be honest, I really enjoyed money. I enjoyed what I could purchase with money, experiences I could buy with money, clothes that I could purchase with money. And so I don't think money is the most important thing in the world, don't get me wrong, but it always pisses me off when people say, well, what's more important, money or your relationship with God? What's more important, money or love? And to me, you're comparing things that shouldn't be compared. You're asking questions that shouldn't be asked. The question should be, how can I have a life full of love and money? How can I be rich in every area of my life? These are the questions that fill our lives up with the things that we want most. Because let's just be honest, we all like money. We all like spending money. We like the things that money can buy, homes and clothes and food and all the things that money can buy. And so, we may rag on capitalism, we may rag on rich people, but the truth is we're all richer than someone else. We all have more money than someone else. And someone can look at us and think that we have like all the money in the world and judge us for it. And so let's just stop judging ourselves. Let's stop judging each other on how much money we do or we don't have, and take responsibility for our own financial wealth and our own financial lives. And so, anyway, fast forward to when I went to college. I didn't really know anything about money. So I got to college, and the agreement was my parents would pay for me to go to high school and I would get a scholarship to go to college. But I was pretty stubborn at that time, and the one school that didn't offer me a scholarship is the one school that I wanted to go to. And so, my parents tried to help, but, I come from a family of, it's 3 of us kids. And they just couldn't financially afford to send me to the school. So eventually I fell behind on my tuition, and I got kicked out because I couldn't pay my tuition. And this was devastating to me. I was a young woman. I had never had a job before. And so I had to figure out if this is what I wanted, if the school is what I wanted, I had to figure out on my own how to get back in and how to financially support myself. And so, I got a job, and I ended up moving to Atlanta with $300 in my pocket. And it wasn't even enough for me to pay my first month's rent. But I moved to Atlanta knowing that nothing was going to hold me back. And logically, there's no reason why I should have succeeded. I had never really financially taken care of myself. My parents had pretty much taken care of me. mostly throughout my teenage years, there were times I wanted to get a job and my parents said no, because they wanted me to focus on schoolwork and focus on just being the age that I was. And so I really didn't know anything about money, and I was thrust into this very adult situation where I suddenly had to take care of myself. And so gosh, just thinking about it makes me smile, because I had some hard years. It was tough because a lot of my friends seemed to have it so much easier than me. And I just wondered all the time, why am I the one who has to struggle? Why am I the only one, it looks like, that's struggling with money? And there was no reason why I should have succeeded. It was illogical for me to succeed, but I did. You know, I got a job and I worked my way through school and I paid my own tuition and I figured it out. And, you know, there were times when I didn't even have enough money to eat. And so I would get like a loaf of bread or something that would stick to me, and that would be like all I would eat. You know what I mean? And there were other times when I didn't even have a place to live. There was one time where I didn't have a place to live because the place where I was staying was closing, and I was waiting on a decision on whether I got approved for a new apartment. And so in between that time, I still had to work, and so I didn't have anywhere to live. So I ended up staying with a friend, living on their couch for 2 weeks, and their home wasn't accessible through public transportation, which is what I was taking at the time. And so I had to take 2 buses. I had to take a train, 2 buses, and a cab to get to their house. And you know, it was a really lonely time for me. It was a time where I felt like I was by myself and I had to make this happen on my own, and it was a really hard time for me. And I don't think I've ever really expressed to anyone just how difficult this time was for me, but it was, you know, a time full of self-doubt and fear and loneliness. And somewhere along the way, I discovered my strength, and I discovered who I was, and I discovered what I was capable of. And so even though it was a hard time for me, it was one of the best times in my entire life, because it's a time when I really discovered myself in a way that I never had before. And so struggling with money during that time, my primary goal was to become financially comfortable. So I really wanted to be financially comfortable. So I made decisions and I took jobs and I took internships that guaranteed me some financial comfort. But somewhere along the way, you know, I was in corporate America. I got to wear a suit to work every day. I felt like I had made it big. From the girl who got kicked out of college because she couldn't afford to pay, to the, you know, the girl in management who got to wear a suit to work every day and had a 401k and good health care benefits and was making more money than any of her friends. And it felt like I had succeeded. Suddenly this emptiness started to I became aware of this emptiness inside, and old dreams that I had and old visions, and that desire to be an entrepreneur, that desire to live my passion and make money started to rise up in me. So I followed it, and I became a massage therapist. I built a very lucrative business. I ended up with 2 houses. One I lived in, one I rented out. I had like 3 or 4 different streams of revenue coming to me. I was also a consultant for Fortune 50 companies, and I was charging over $100 an hour for my time. So I went from a college kid who had never had a job before, got kicked out of school because I couldn't afford to pay my tuition, to a high-earning consultant. I was running my own massage business. I was making $100 per hour consulting for Fortune 50 companies. And even now, my family and I have embarked on a whole new journey where we're determined to not only have our own businesses and our own careers, but to create businesses that support the lifestyle we want to live. So that includes giving us the time we want to spend time with each other, and also creating the wealth that we want in order to experience life. So the first thing I want to teach you is really about mindset, because there's so many things in our mindset that holds us back about money. I call my money belief ideas abracadabra, because that sounds like, sounds like some magician stuff, right? It sounds like all mystical, like abracadabra. That's how you make something appear out of nowhere. Abracadabra is actually Hebrew, and it means I create as I speak. And this is such an important part of creating lives that we really want to live, is what are we speaking? What are we thinking? And what are we believing? And these three things will have such a profound impact on your life. So it's not just the actions that we take. It's not just the plans that we make. It's what we believe, what we speak, and what we think. And these have they play such an important part of our financial lives. And so I want to spend some time talking about that. So the first thing I want to talk about is what holds us back from really living the lives we really want to live. And so many people will say, if I only had more money. I remember when my husband and I had decided to take a year off and travel around the country and go to Costa Rica for a month with our 18-month-old daughter. A lot of people kept asking, did you guys win the lottery or something? And I found that question so interesting, because what people were really saying was, unless you get lucky, there's no way you can live such a happy and fulfilling life. There's no way that you can take so much time off and really do the things you want to do with your life unless you won the lottery. And this is pretty funny, because I've studied a lot of people. I've read Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, and I follow a lot of people who are actually doing just that. They have enough time to do the things they want to do, and they have enough money to support their lifestyle. So why aren't we all doing this? How come we all aren't living this lifestyle? And really, I think it comes down to 3 beliefs that we have that are blocking us from experiencing life to its fullest. The first belief is we believe that we have to earn money, that we have to work hard for money, we have to work hard for everything we get. And this belief can hold us back so much more than we can even realize. We think that this is integrity, that this sounds noble, that we have to work hard for our money. But what that creates is lives in which we're putting so much energy and effort into just making money. So I've talked to a lot of people, along the years, and it's always interesting to me how people who, work for a living will judge people who make ideas off of their money. And they'll judge them by saying, oh, well, they don't even work hard. I work hard for my money. As if you deserve more money if you work harder. And I think that this is a belief that holds us back, because when we think about wanting more money and we think about how hard we're working right now, we decide, well, gosh, I don't want to work any harder. I'm already tired and stressed and frustrated and exhausted. If I have to work harder for money, where in the world is that going to leave me? And so we don't allow ourselves to think creatively of ways that we can bring money into our lives. We trade hours for dollars, and we ignore all the creative ways around us that we could make money. One affirmation that I used for this was that I used to stop this belief that I had to work hard and earn money was money comes to me easily and effortlessly. It is sweet and easy to make money. It is sweet and easy to make money. It is sweet and easy to make money. And this affirmation really helped me, because when I started to think of sweeter and easier ways to make money, when I started to make making money a game, it was so much more fun. And I looked forward to thinking of more and more creative ways that I could make money, that I could use my gifts and my talents to bring money into my experiences. And so money started to come to me in ways that I couldn't imagine before, because I kept thinking, well, what job can I get, or how much harder can I work to get more money? And maybe I should get a part-time job and work even harder to get money. And instead of doing that, when I started using this affirmation regularly, I started to get creative, like, well, what information could I share to make money? Maybe I could write a book to bring in some additional money. Maybe I could teach courses. Maybe I could find people who need what I know and give them that information to make more money. And so making money became fun. And as making money becomes more fun, you will make more of it. Because let's be honest, no matter how much self-control we have, we do more things that make us feel fun. That make us feel good, that are fun. We're drawn to things that make us laugh and that are fun and that we enjoy doing. And so if you can start to think of money as something fun, then you'll start to get more creative and you'll start to make more of it. Instead of thinking of money as something you have to work for and earn and have that kind of like that stiff, stressed energy around money. You have sort of a light and fun energy around money. In addition to thinking we have to work hard and earn money, another belief that really holds us back is that money, having excess money is bad. Having more money than we need is selfish and greedy. And this can really be an unconscious belief that causes us to sabotage ourselves. A lot of people who grew up in middle class were raised to judge the rich. If people have excess money, if they have more money than us, then they must be doing something wrong. But as I said earlier, we all have more money than someone. And something that we spend money on, someone else is going to think that that's excessive and expensive. So, right, like I live in an apartment and the rent for my apartment can be considered high to some people. And some people have actually told me, you can find a cheaper place than that. But my family and I, we don't want to. We want to live here. We enjoy living here. And so even though this isn't like, this isn't like a penthouse in New York City, some people would say that we're living in excess. And I wouldn't say that. I would say we're living in abundance. And who are we to judge what someone else's notion of abundance is? Who are we to say that they spend too much on what they're doing? We don't want other people judging us, saying that we spend too much on the things that we like and desire in our lives. So let's stop judging people. Let's stop saying that this celebrity or that celebrity, oh, they so stupid, why they spend so much money on that? Or, oh, that's just a waste of money. Let's not judge money. Because when we judge money, when we judge what other people are doing with our money, we kind of clank down on how much money we can bring into our own experience. And we start to sort of feel guilty whenever we're living in abundance and we have more money than we quote unquote need. So like I said, let's keep a light attitude about money. Money doesn't have to be the serious thing in our lives. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are people all over the world suffering and who need more money. And I'm not saying that we can't be empathetic to that and that we can't support causes that support people around the world. But it's okay to manifest abundance in our own lives, because that's what we want for people who are starving, people who are hungry. What we want most for them is that they can live in a space of abundance, that they can have more than they need or want. And just because you have abundance doesn't mean you're creating lack for someone else. By the nature of having abundance, you are generating an attitude, you're generating an energy of abundance that helps other people. So it doesn't suppress other people's need to have money. I mean, our money isn't even based on the gold standard anymore. So the third idea about money that usually holds us back is the idea that money is our boss, that we are slaves to money and our freedom is dependent on money, that we're looking for money to grant us our freedom. Money has become the new master in our lives, and we look toward money to grant us the freedom to travel, the freedom to live the lives we want to live, the freedom to explore, the freedom to spend time with our children. I mean, just think about it. Think about how much power we give money, 40 hours a week plus. I mean, 40 is just the minimum that some people work, but we also have to get to work. We have to settle down from work. Think of how much of your life goes towards working for money. Because if we had all the money in the world, most of us wouldn't be doing some of the jobs that we're doing. We wouldn't be living some of the lives that we're living. And so money has become our new master. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't want to admit that, but it's really true. We ask money, we beg of money for our own personal freedom. And so it's really important to separate your sense of freedom from money. Money is an important part of being able to do the things that we want to do. But we want to get to the point where our money listens to us. We're managing and leading our money. Our money is not managing and leading us. We have to take control back, our control back. We have to take our power back from money and realize that the power is in us and that we can direct and manage our money, but our money shouldn't be directing and managing us. And so, you know, that realization alone, I think, can give you the aha you need to live a life closer to what you desire to live. So those are 3 blocks that really keep us stuck when it comes to money. And as we start to release those blocks, as we start to use affirmations and use things to break us free from these thoughts and these beliefs, then we'll notice that more money can flow into our experience. So I want you to think about those 3 blocks, and I want to give you a game to play in order to free up your ideas of how much money you can manifest in your life. So this game is really simple. Anytime you think of something you want, I want you to visualize yourself buying it. Anything. So for me, like yesterday, I thought, oh, I would really like a sauna in my house. So I visualized myself buying, going online, shopping for saunas, going to the website, going to the checkout, and actually checking out. So this isn't like when I would plan these elaborate vacations at my corporate job, but I would X out the window. In my visualization, I'm actually purchasing this. So if you think of a vacation, whatever you think of, imagine yourself purchasing it, and it's fun and it's light and it's free and it's enjoyable. And as you have fun spending money, more money can actually flow into your life. So this is just a game to kind of open up your consciousness about money. So enjoy playing that game. I'm excited to hear if anyone manifests any money playing this game. Leave me a comment below and let me know, what is the major block that keeps you from manifesting more money in your life? What is it? If I ask you, why don't you have as much money as you want? Why not? Why don't you have as much money as you want? Answer that in the comments below, and I'm so excited to bring you in the next video. In the next video, we're going to be talking strategy. So this is the video where I'm going to take you behind the scenes so you can see exactly my money spending plan and savings plan. And this plan has helped me have so much more fun with my money and given me freedom to live a life of more flexibility. So, you know, that video will be coming out in a few days, and I look forward to talking to you then. Bye-bye.